Okay, so I think we're live. Can you guys hear me? Just gonna open that second screen real quick to make sure that everything's okay. I normally did my test, so everything should work. But if you guys could tell me, I would really appreciate it. Make sure that everything's okay with the volume. ILS, what's up? Thank you for being here. You've been waiting for a few minutes. Sorry I'm late. As you can see, I just have that new setup with Streamlabs OBS. I was using OBS 2GO only before, so it's a bit new for me. So if there's anything wrong with the volume, please let me know. What's up, Adam? Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Dank Meme, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it. Normally everything should work, but as always, guys, if there's anything with the volume, please let me know and we'll figure it out. Volume's good. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So basically, for what I want to do, guys, today is very simple. I want to, as you can see with the title, I want to introduce you guys with this new podcast of mine. I did a small logo, Demon Appreciation Podcast. I'm trying to make something cool, something very unique. This is something that's going to be different, and I want to talk about that. So today I'm going to describe what is this podcast all about. And of course, I have that Atlus collection laying down right here, ready to show off. So I'm going to show off everything to you guys. Thank you for answering my poll that I did in the community tab. I had a lot of answers, and it gave me the idea to start the podcast with this episode of a collection video. So during the whole podcast, guys, if you want to ask me any questions, anything, the main goal of this podcast is to talk to you guys and interact with you guys, because this is like the thing that I enjoy the most about doing live streams. We did New Game Plus Expo, we did the Nintendo Partner Showcase, we did the PlayStation 5 Showcase, and also, of course, Tokyo Game Show. So it was great, and the best thing was always to talk about to talk with you guys. So as always, if there's anything, let me know. There's one little thing that I see that doesn't work. There's supposed to be the chat on screen, but I think that doesn't work. I'll just check that real quick. But you guys can't see the chat, right? You can't see the chat on the screen. It's not a deal breaker, but it was supposed to work. Oh well. That's nothing too bad. So, well, yeah, let's begin. So, thank you for everyone who's here. What I will do first is I'll explain what I have. What are my plans for this podcast going forward? Please stop beeping. Thank you. Very simple, okay? This type of episode today, where I'll introduce the podcast and I'll also show the collection, is something unique. I don't think I'll do that very often, but the ideas that I have for this podcast is to basically talk about the channel and talk about general news, of course. Sorry, I definitely plan on having a lot of guests here, if possible, of course, if people want to come on the channel. But I plan on having guests. I plan on discussing new games, discussing older games sometimes, and also, of course, the news, everything going around with the gaming industry. So I plan on talking about that. The next podcast, I can already tell you guys, this will be a weekly podcast, by the way. So every single week we'll have an episode of the podcast. Next week is going to be the spoiler cast for 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. So it's going to be a really interesting show, and of course for this I'm going to have guests, and I think that you guys will like it. Of course, I think so. We have a lot to say. This game is really amazing. If you haven't seen my review, check it out. I'll link it in a few seconds in the chat so you guys can check it out. But I'm pretty proud of what I was able to do with the review, so I certainly hope that you guys will like it as well. Just before we begin, I don't know if you guys had any questions, maybe? Any questions for me before we begin? Is everything clear with what I'm planning to do with this this podcast? What else was I had other ideas for the show that I want to do. Of course, I know that you guys were really interested in collections video. I'm starting with Atlus stuff because I know that most of you guys are here for Atlus stuff. So obviously I am going to showcase that first, but I have other games from different systems, various systems. If you guys are interested in seeing that, eventually we'll be able to show that as well in other episodes for sure. So I'm just going to real quick be taking out my information. that I've written down. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. The last other thing that I had was, the last other idea that I had for this show was to maybe just discuss with you guys in the chat. I'll always be focused on the chat to talk with you guys, and I'll probably like play some games. I know that you guys were interested sometimes in seeing me play different games, probably Megaton stuff. Sometimes I have to grind in Megaton, so maybe just grind and, you know, talk with you guys at the same time about different news topics. I think that could be really interesting. So, yeah, I think it's going to be cool. Joaquin, thank you for coming to the stream, and welcome to the stream. We just started a few minutes ago. I was a bit late, but I'm here. Good. Adam says good plan. Cool. I'm glad that you're down with that. Thank you as well. Cool. Awesome. I think I'm going to jump right in with the collection because I'm going to have a lot to say, and I don't want for you guys to just sit here for like 3 hours and listen to me showing off boxes of stuff. So yeah, let's get right in. I have a cool collection. Obviously, I'm not LaRue or anything. I don't have like every single version of every single game and the collector's edition and stuff like that. But I think I still have a fairly decent Atlus collection. I have some Atlus developed titles here, and I also have just some Atlus published titles as well. But various stuff that I've built up over the years, and I think that you guys might like to see all of that. And as always, any questions, meanwhile, don't hesitate, just interrupt me and ask the questions, and I'll be glad to answer. Matthew Hunter, thanks for being here, man. Welcome to the stream. So let's jump right in. The first that I have on the pile here is, of course, the game of the hour. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Oh, as mentioned, if you haven't seen my review, this game is amazing. You guys should definitely check it out. But yeah, this game, standard slipcover. Of course, I don't know if that's the day one edition or if it's always going to have that slipcover. I think it was only the day one edition that comes with all of that. So regular case, of course, no manual, 2020, and an art book, which is, it's all right. Like, I'm not complaining. I haven't paid anything for it because, you know, it comes with the game, so I'm not gonna complain. But it's an average art book. Like, if it was like coming with the deluxe edition of the game, I would be a bit bummed, but it's not. Hey, look, it's that hey asshole cat right here. So yeah, that's 13 Sentinels for you guys. Hey VC, thanks for coming to the stream, man. I was not able to get to your stream yesterday. Unfortunately, it was a bit too late for me. I'm always like going to sleep way too soon, actually. But I listened to everything today while working, and great podcast. Really liked it. Thanks for being here. Next up, I have, of course, OG Catherine that I played back in the day. I remember picking up this game. I think I picked it up at like my local GameStop. Here in Canada, it's EB Games, and I liked it. This game is unlike anything else, like from the soundtrack, the gameplay, anything else. I know that I talked about Catherine before on the channel. It is definitely an amazing game. If you guys, for whatever reason, skipped it, please do yourselves a favor. It is a really cool game. Aha, we have that game with a really thick manual, actually, which is something that I really like. Look at that. We don't get manuals enough nowadays, unfortunately. But Catherine, amazing game. If you haven't tried it out, it's available everywhere nowadays. I mean, Vanilla Catherine is available, of course, PS3, 360, and on PC, which was released like after Full Body, or like a few weeks before Full Body. So, yeah. VC says, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really cool. And you plan on playing 13 Sentinels soon. Yeah, dude, you should. This game is top notch. I can't push this game on anyone because I know that it's not for everyone, from the story to the gameplay, especially the RTS part of the gameplay. I understand it's not for everyone, but honestly, it is so different and so well done. I adored it. It is that great, honestly. It is really, really, really good. I can't stress that enough, for sure. Adam says, I hope they do a full artwork like most big Atlus games for 13 Sentinels. How cool would that be? This game deserves like any type of amazing art book that they can do. It deserves it. It really deserves it. I'm not that much of I really like art. Like the art design and the art direction in 13 Sentinels is a massive 10 out of 10, like easily. If they come out with an art book, they won by for sure for me, because it is that good, honestly. Another title that I have here that I know that it's beloved by a bunch of people in the community. It is Persona 5 Arena, and that's not Ultimax. That's the original version. I skipped Ultimax, unfortunately, just because I really like to watch fighting games, like Smash, for example. I really like to watch Smash and Smash gameplay, live streams, good players playing Smash, and I also like to play with friends, but I'm not good. Like, I'm not that good at the game, so if you watch today's video, I was the Joker playing on screen. I recorded myself playing against the CPU, which I think was like level 5 CPU, and I suck. I really do suck, so unfortunately, that's the reason why for one fighting game like this that is a bit harder to master, but extremely well done. The story really good as well, and of course the soundtrack. I'm going to say that probably every single game that I have here has an amazing soundtrack. Like, Atlus is always on point with soundtracks. But this game in particular, I really liked it, and it is a really good title. It is made by the guys behind the BlazBlue series, or BlazBlue, whatever you want to call it. So they know how to make it work for fighting games. So another thick manual, love it, love it. And that's PS3. I don't remember the PS3 having so many cool manuals. It's great. It's great to see. ILS, yeah, you're right. Our fighting games are a bit harder to get into. Like, I think that's the reason why Smash is so beloved by many. It's just because it's easier to get into. It's really accessible. You can just jump in and have fun, while more hardcore games like this are a bit harder to get into. I can get into Street Fighter. I really like Street Fighters. I played all the Naruto games back in the day as well. I really like that. I started because of the series. Like, I'm a fan of Naruto, a big fan of Naruto, so that's the reason why I picked it up. But I'm looking at the shelf. If you see me looking that way, it's because I'm looking at the shelf. But fighting games, I played Injustice on the PlayStation 4, which I really loved. I like the DC universe, and I really liked it. But other than that, man, I mean, nah, I'm really not a big fighting guy. Like, Smash is definitely my favorite fighting game. I really like Smash. It's really cool. Speaking of another genre that I'm not too familiar with, and we'll get into the good stuff eventually. It's not bad, but yeah, you'll see. Persona 5 Dancing. I'm not a rhythm game, guys. Honestly, it isn't bad. It isn't bad by any means. It is a good genre. The music is great in those games. I really like the music. The remixes, all of that is really good. Of course, they had to write down on the back, like, acclaimed music by Shoji Meguro and Ryota Kozuka, the GOATs. So yeah, soundtrack amazing. If you're into rhythm games, I'm sure it's a pretty good game. This game, unlike Persona 4 though, for dancing, is doesn't have like that good story mode that you had in the Persona 4 dancing. So you might want to pick up 4 instead of this one, honestly. But if you really liked 4, you can then jump into 5 and also 3. Both games are considered pretty good, but nothing too like massive success or masterpiece, for example. I'm trying to go by consoles. I had PS3, then I'm into PS4 now, which we're getting into the good stuff. So some of you guys probably heard about this small game here. So vanilla Persona 5. This game I waited so long for, but I'm not telling you guys anything new. I'm sure that a bunch of you guys waited a long time for this game as well. The build up to this game was amazing, and I know that it's not the opinion of everyone, but for me personally, it lived up to the hype. Like, this game is really good. The soundtrack, the characters, the upgrades that they did to certain aspects of, like, let's say Persona 3 and 4, like the dungeons and stuff like that. It might not be the best in this series to some, but you can't neglect the impact that it had on this series. So yeah, vanilla Persona 5. ILS, he says, rhythm games are cool, emo, but the more original ones in designs and plot are much better than the ones that have already existing characters in them. Possibly. I'm sure that you know more about rhythm games than I do, but yeah, it makes sense. It really makes sense. Yeah, Adam, small game, Persona 5. Probably the best-selling game on the shelf, but hey. Now's a game very unique from a developer that I talked about a few minutes ago, Vanillaware, with Dragon's Crown. Oh, we got that big reflection. It is a steelbook, so that's the steelbook edition, battle-hardened edition, sorry. And it comes with skill cards. It is a cool steelbook, like there's some bumps on it. I don't know if you guys can see it, my camera's trash. But really cool steelbook. It is sealed, as you can see, and the reason why is because I have digitally the Dragon's Crown on the PlayStation 3, so I played it at launch on the PS3. I have no clue why I have a digital version, so that's probably the reason why I picked up the steelbook for the PlayStation 4, and I'll leave it sealed, just because of that. Persona 5 and 4 had so much influence in my life. They are amazing games, like really, really good games. Both of them, there's a reason why people love them so much. Like, as much as I love mainline Megaton and just anything Megaton other than Persona, you can't neglect the impact of Persona. Persona 3 to 5, like those games, they were able to reach a broader audience. More of them, I don't like to use that expression, but more of the mainline audience because of the social links, because of the likable cast of characters in most games, because of the amazing music. Yeah, those games are something else. They're really good. You'll see some other stuff about those games eventually, because sometimes I have multiple copies of games, which brings me to my next point. So this game that I have right here, I have it multiple times. Catherine Full Body. That's the Steelbook edition. That is the launch edition for the copy on the PlayStation 4. When this game came out, it came out, I think, a week or so before Dragon Quest XI-S on the Switch, and I was extremely excited for Dragon Quest. I jumped right in, and then there was a bunch of other games that came out after, which is the reason why I haven't played Catherine Full Body on the PlayStation 4. Yeah, so I played Catherine Vanilla, of course, I adored it, but Full Body I only played this year with the Switch version, because the other reason why I decided to keep this one sealed is because I was pretty sure that we would get this game on Switch eventually. So, of course, there was always the option to just open it later, but since it came out on Switch, I picked it up there. Amazing game, as always. It runs really well on Switch, so if you guys want to play it on Switch, you can. But of course, the PlayStation 4 version, if you can find it cheaper, is also a very good alternative. So, great game, great game. Yeah, another steelbooks. I really love my steelbooks. Yeah, another small game that I just talked about, Persona 5 Vanilla. That's the steelbook that I got with that beautiful box right here, the Phantom Thieves edition. No, the Take Your Heart edition. I'm sorry. So I really love this steelbook. The slipcover which you can take off, and the steelbook is beautiful. I really like that one. I feel like people are always praising the Royal Steelbook, but I really love that one. It's red. It is really cool. I was so excited to get it. I was so excited. Yeah. Don't ask me why I have the standard version if I have this one as well. I do that sometimes. I'm a collector as well. I like to play games and I like to discuss about every different topics in the gaming industry, but I'm also like to collect games. It's great. I really like it. I'm a physical dude. Rakinyu says, in my opinion, Persona 4 is better than Persona 5, but Persona 5 is still excellent. That's debatable. Persona 4 definitely has some things that are better than in Persona 5, in my opinion. I'm always talking about just my opinion. But I can see why you would think that. Honestly, it is debatable. It is debatable. Next up, Royal. The game that came out this year and that took the world by storm. I was on the Midnight Channel's podcast, which was my first appearance on a podcast, actually, when I started YouTube with actually Skull from the Fansite and Spencer from SMT Network, and we discussed this game in details. And one thing that I remember that we said was, it's unfortunate this game is not going to sell to new players. At first, we really thought that that was the case, and that only us, people that played vanilla, would buy it again full price. But we were wrong. Like, I actually know a lot of people that got into Persona and got into Persona 5 with Royal. So I'm super glad to hear that. We got the sales numbers. I talked about them in an episode, and it sold really well. That's amazing news. Like VC that was here in the chat. If you're still here, I know that he started with Royal, so really cool to get into this game, since it's definitely the definitive edition. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything since it's still a recent game, but the third semester is. And the director behind the new content in Royal is the director behind Persona 6. So, yeah, I expect big things. So, yeah, here's the steelbook. That's the front and the back, which is really beautiful. And if you don't know, it is a continuation, which is really cool. Here's the disc, and they sent in with, I don't know if it's only with the steelbook that we got this, but I got a team as well for my PlayStation. So yeah, I really love this steelbook. It is really good as well. ILS. Of course, people would get into Persona with Royal because it's basically the same game, but with extra story and stuff. Yeah, you're right. I think the reason why we thought that people wouldn't pick up Royal was because you remember the critics when this game came out first? People were saying it is good. P5 is definitely one of the best RPGs of the last decade. But this game is just Persona 5 with additional stuff, so they were not necessarily praising the new content as much as we did, the people who played the original version. So we thought that people would skip this version because of that. But I'm definitely glad to be wrong, because this game is up there, honestly. It is that good. Okay, you started with base P5. Okay, my bad. Yes, the new content in Royal is amazing. It is really, really good. I wonder what color Persona 6 is going to be. People are thinking maybe green. I don't know. It fits. We haven't, like, we got, of course, blue, yellow, and red. Skipping Persona 1 and 2 because Atlus doesn't know that those games exist anyways. But I actually would like Persona 6 to be in a cyberpunk setting. It would be cool. I mean, I did a video on Persona 6, and I should probably revise that video because I have some different... I'm sorry, I'm just going to open that real quick. I have some different... I have a different mindset about Persona 6. Now, we're going to start talking about this game a bit more in the channel as we start to get news for this game. But, this game... There's a lot that they can do. There's a lot that they can do, and I'm sure that the team knows that they have to do something great, because Royal and just P5 in general did so much for Atlus. I'm expecting big things. Maybe purple as well. Yeah, maybe purple. It makes sense. By cyberpunk, do you mean actually legit cyberpunk, like OG DSX or fake flashy Hollywood cyberpunk? P1 was technically purple. Yep, that's right. I'd assume it'd be green. Yeah, but again, does Atlus care about Persona 1 at this point? I'm not sure, so I don't think it would put a barrier in their development and their choice of the color. This game's going to be really good. I can't wait to start seeing things, but my mindset is not on Persona 6, so unfortunately that's not the reason. That's the reason why you don't see as many Persona 6 content on the channel, but we'll get there eventually. For now, of course, you know, it is SMT5, my game. I'm so hyped, so hyped. Yeah, so I think I'm going to jump right into this pile right here, which is a cool little pile that I think you guys will like what I have on here. Speaking of the devil, Persona 4 Golden. So this game, as we talked about, it is really good. It is really good. It is the definitive way to play Persona 4, in my opinion. On the Vita, it ran great. It looked great. It is now on PC. It is like 20 bucks, I think, to 20 US. So if you haven't played it, it is a no-brainer. Most PCs can run it, so I would definitely recommend it. And we have an amazing blank case, but yeah, amazing game. I'm kind of ashamed to say it, but you guys are currently looking at my big stack of Vita games. So this is my Vita collection. Unfortunately, I feel like most Vita games that I wanted to play are now on Switch, so that's the reason why I skipped them. I definitely want to play Muramasa Rebirth from Vanillaware. This is definitely a title that I want to play eventually. So we'll raise that number of physical Vita games eventually for sure. Potato Status, thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it. Purple can usually be connected with wealth and royalties. Royal, a hint maybe. I don't know. Maybe. 4 Apocalypse was technically a green Persona game. Oh, I understand what you mean, but I wouldn't say it's a Persona game per se. But I understand. It is a fair statement. It is a fair statement for sure. SMT5 is where it's at the moment. Yep, Adam, for real. I'm so hyped for this game. I can't, honestly. The moment that they show gameplay, but I don't need to tell you guys. I mean, you're seeing my content. It is really hype, really hype. P4G is one of my favorite games of all time, and that's understandable. In Persona 4, for me, the characters, the setting overall, there's also the school setting, but the fact of being in, it's Hinaba, the name of the place. Ooh, I'm bad. Oh damn. But you guys will correct me. I'm pretty sure it's Inaba. But the city where you're at, far from the Shibuya and Tokyo, the places that we always see in games, it is really different, and I really adored that. Being able to... The Midnight Channel in general was a really cool topic. Like, it was... I remember playing through the game, and I was like, oh man, I really want to know what's going to happen next. Like, they were building up to something really cool. And the ending, the villain in this game, all of that is just so good, so good. And then we get that Persona 4 music. Let's go. Yeah, SMT5 and 3 HD is hype for real, for real. I can't believe it. And the Japanese audience is going to be playing Nocturne HD in a few weeks. Ah, damn, they're lucky. Bigger Vita collection that I ever had. Impressive. Yeah. Yeah, well... When I was on SMTN, when I was on the podcast with Spencer, he's a big Vita dude. Like, he really likes the Vita, and he's really passionate about the Vita. When I told him that I had one game, he was like, "Oh man, you're serious." Yeah, unfortunately, I was at another place when the Vita came out. So, but if Sony comes out eventually with another handheld, which I don't think it's going to happen soon, I'd be down. I'd really be down. Gunmetal Otaku, thanks for being here, man. And you says, same here, this is the only game I have in my Vita collection. I'll feel like we're not alone, man. I really do feel like we're not alone. Like, I think there's a lot of people that only have this game. Most of the time when you listen to, like, YouTube videos and top 10 Vita games, stuff like that, they always mention P4G, so can you blame us? I don't know. I know that we're missing out on a bunch of games, but hey, I'm going to show new stuff that is going to to compensate for that Vita collection. Yeah, it was Inaba. Okay, thank you for correcting me. Not gonna lie, I could go for another Persona game out in the sticks. Yeah. A question: as someone who played Vanilla P4, is it worth playing Golden? Here's my opinion. Well, if you adored Vanilla P4, and eventually you think you would like to re-experience that story, I would recommend playing Golden. But if you thought P4 was average, and you don't necessarily feel like replaying it, I don't think Golden's going to change your opinion. But that is my personal take on the matter. If you guys have different opinions, just let him know, and let him know what are your thoughts. Good question. Golden ILS. Golden is easier than Vanilla, so really the only reason to play it is because of its extra plot stuff and whatnot. Yes, and also for the portability aspects, for me it is a major advantage, so that's the reason why I wanted to pick it up. When it came out, I was like, oh man, yeah, I really want to be able to, you know, Persona on the go. And let's not start that Switch Persona debate, but Persona on the go was definitely something that I wanted to experience, definitely. Adam, 3DS was where handheld RPGs were at. Well, I'm about to get into the 3DS collection, and just with Atlus stuff, I have a good pile, so you're definitely right. For me, the 3DS, the library was way more superior than the Vita, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I know that some people don't agree. For me, the fact that the console, the system is less powerful, like the graphics is not that high, the resolution, all of that is not as good looking as on Vita with the HD resolution, all of that. To me, it doesn't matter. Like, the games are what makes the system after all. So for me, the 3DS wins. It really wins easily. I'd say yes if it was a while ago. If you feel like replaying Persona 4, that's basically my take. Yeah. Persona Q on a 3DS. Persona Q is great. Persona Q is great. Again, we're going to get there. Well, if you guys want to talk about the 3DS, so let's bring out the pile. I was almost there, but I have a few messages that I want to get through before. It took me 10 years to realize that Nintendo DS stood for dual screen. Well, that's very funny. Didn't you see the logo? Like the The two little squares next to the Nintendo DS. That was dual screen. That was your dual screens, man. NDS actually stands for Developer System. It stands for dual screen, doesn't it? Don't make me look crazy. Dual screen for the gamers and Developer System for game devs. Okay, fair enough. Yes, same, man. Being portable is always a plus in my book. Here's the reason why I love my Switch so much. If I have to suffer a little downgrade in resolution to be able to play my game portably, I'm down. Like, for me, Scramble is a switch buy for me. So Nocturne as well. I really don't care. I just want to play it portably. Like of course, with the whole pandemic situation, I have my desk. I work from home. You can't see it, but I have 4 screens. So I work on my content on YouTube stuff, and I also work with my job stuff on the other 2 screens. So I'm always at home, so now it's not a problem. But when I used to go to work, I always had my Switch or my 3DS in the backpack, ready to play some Megaton titles during my breaks and lunchtime. So yeah, definitely a plus for portability for me as well. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with single screen RPGs UI, since I've always played RPGs on the DS. Even the regular DS, how many good RPGs are on there? Like, you've got the definitive edition to play Chrono Trigger, arguably. You got Blue Dragon, you've got the Advance War games, you've got Fire Emblem, you've got Megaton titles, of course. What else do you have? Other than RPGs, you have Ace Attorney, you have Professor Layton, you have Pokemon, which is an RPG, you have Sonic games, you have... I'm looking at my shelf, but you have the Zelda games, which I really liked. I know that it's kind of divisive. Final Fantasy games as well. The DS was great, and the 3DS was even better in my opinion, so yeah. Honestly, the DS line of systems is really, really good. Good times when portable was the heat before mobile exploded. Ah, man. That hurts, but you're right. Yeah, people bringing their DS and stuff everywhere back in the day was lit. It was. I mean, at high school, during trips, I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick. At high school, we often had trips. Like once a year, we were going elsewhere. I'm in Canada. We were like the far away that I went was Vancouver. We took the plane, and in the plane, everyone had their DS, and we were playing Mario Kart. There was no online connection needed, and everyone had a DS, so everyone was playing Mario Kart. Such a great time, honestly. The DS, memories, a lot of memories. The DS and 3DS were amazing. So many good games, and backwards compatibles too. That is worth a lot to me as well. We're out here talking about DS dual screen. David here with quadruple screens. Yeah. Yep. Living the baller's life, if I can say it that way. I have 4 screens, but 2 for content creation and 2 for work. So, to my defense, let's get it. The first in line, Soul Hackers, and of course I have the edition with the music CD inside. This game is really underrated. The setting, the unique setting, the characters, the Misa. Oh man, if you haven't played this game, I understand it's not as easy to get into as, let's say, Shin Megami Tensei 4, because of course the dungeon designs are a bit harder and there's some interesting difficulty spikes, but you get to fight the man himself. You get to fight Raido in this game, so just for that, man. But this game is amazing. The soundtrack is really amazing. I have the review as well on the channel if you guys are interested. Where's the game? It is right here, so I'll just take it out real quick. Yeah, so here's the copy, the box. Soul Hackers. Unfortunately, the physical games are really expensive, so... The art style, ILS? Peak Kaneko. Yep. Absolutely. Got that sexy manual as well. Oh man, Soul Hackers is really good. I feel like this game doesn't get any love, doesn't get enough love in the community, unfortunately, because it is really good. When did it came out? It came out soon, actually, in the 3DS life. 2013. It came out really soon. But amazing game. But this is a re-release. Yeah, ILS here quick. Yep. 2013. It is a re-release of a Saturn game. It was on the Saturn initially, Soul Hackers. So, and it is the second Devil Summoner game, which I'm going to show the first one in a bit. If you're going back and listening to my review, I made a mistake. Someone corrected me. I said that this was the first Devil Summoner game. As you know, English is not my first language, so I made just a mistake while talking. But I definitely know that this is not the first game. I even have the first game that we're going to see in just a bit. Soul Hackers was your first Megaton game. Dude, that is sick. Did you beat it, Joaquin? That is really cool. That's the first time that I hear someone saying that Soul Hackers was their first game. That makes me happy, honestly. Oh yeah, Vic Netty, you're right. I wish this game and the Rido games get more attention because they're really good. They're different. That's the thing. They're different. And Soul Hackers is not even that different than other games. Guess I missed out on that at that time. Probably some other 2013 game took the shine, and then again Minecraft took over. Oh yeah. Let's not talk about Steve for now. But yeah, Minecraft's a phenomenon. Very popular game. Also has some of the best music from Megaro. ILS, I must agree on that point, for real. Like, the soundtrack for Soul Hackers, really good, really good. Another small game that you might have heard about. let me put this there. I'm just going to rearrange that whole thing because I don't want to, destroy everything. Another small game that maybe you guys heard about it. Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 4. That's definitely in my top 10 games of all time. I mean, what do I need to say? You guys probably all played it. Like, it is such a good game. The characters, the story, I replayed it multiple times. And you guys will know me. Eventually, you'll learn to know more about me. And I'm not a guy that plays my games repetitively. I don't repeat my playthrough of games, especially since I play only RPGs of most of the time RPGs. They're long games. I don't have the time to replay the games. But this game, I replayed it multiple times, so it says a lot for me. Amazing title. Amazing title. I don't know if I'm supposed to have a manual, actually. I hope so. But we have a cool box for this one. Not in the best shape, as you can see, but really cool edition of the game. Really like the artwork on this. That's the, I think they call this the limited edition. It comes with a very sexy strategy book. Look at that. Yeah. Beautiful. And it is thick. Look at that. Oh man. Sometimes I just, you know, the last time that I played SMT4, what happened? I sit down, I took that out, started looking at that. It might be a good idea to, you know, charge my 3DS just in case, And then I replayed it. Oh man, such a good game, such a good game. Okay, I missed a bunch of message. I am very sorry. So, Dank Meme, yes, you missed on that time when Minecraft took over. I read that. Cool. Potatis. I just realized Persona Q2 is 2 years ago. It released 2 years ago. It released way too late in the 3DS lifetime. Really, really too late. The Switch was out. If this game released on Switch, it would have sold more copies for sure. Speaking of the devil, that's the next one in line. Persona Q2, but I just want to read a couple of other messages. Vic Netty, man, I wish I could play the original Devil Summoner too. Unfortunately, and I'm spoiling my own content here, but I don't own the physical copy of Rido 1, unfortunately. If you're talking about the original Devil Summoner, not Rido, there's a fan translation for this one that you can play. I'm pretty sure. I haven't played it, but I'm pretty sure you can play the fan translation for this one. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure. It took you a long time to beat the game? Yeah, well, it's understandable. I mean, you started at a rough place, actually. It is... No, that's not true. There's some mechanics that are unforgiving, but if you take your time and you think about it, Soul Hackers, you can get through it as a new player, for sure. The best SMT game, I'm sure you're talking about 4 here. That and Strange Journey for me. Yeah, for sure. Currently going through neutral route of Vanilla 4 right now. Oh, we got a new subscriber, Gunmetal Otaku. Thank you for subscribing, man. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the channel. I hope you like the content that I have coming for you guys. Currently doing neutral route of Vanilla 4 right now on my 5th playthrough. Nice, man. Nice, man. I'm sure that you're still enjoying your experience a lot. I'm sure of it. Today is Strange Journey's anniversary. Well, yeah, I saw that, which is very cool. This game is also underrated. Not enough people talk about it. We're very different. Very different. SMT4 is top tier. Another game in my list of all-time favorites. Same. Why do my favorite Atlus games always have a 4? Ah, who knows? Maybe that'll change with SMT5. Strange Journey Redux also released 2 years ago. Yep. I'll check out the fan translation. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I really think there's a fan translation for OG Devil Summoner. But tell me if I'm wrong, please. I should play it if there's one, but I'm pretty sure there's one. Strange Journey, favorite game of all time. Nice. Very nice. The reason why I didn't recommend it in my Where to Start with SMT series guide is because some of the dungeons, let's be honest, they're kind of rough. Like, the designs are kind of rough at certain points, so yeah. But great game. Great game. So yeah, this is where I was at. Persona Q2. Etriana Odyssey with a Persona skin, but amazing music and more than just a skin, actually. There's good content. The story is great. Yeah, those games are good. That's and I'm talking for 1 and 2. Oh, even if it released late, we got a cool manual. I appreciate it. And we also have a slipcover. Ooh. The art style is very cool as well. I really liked it. How cool is that? There's no translation of the OG Devil Summoner, so I was wrong. Remember, there's one in development, though, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Sorry for the misinformation. But I'm sure that I saw something about that, though. If it's not released already, it isn't. Just as you said, ILS, it is probably in the work. Translation is being done for the PSP re-release of Devil Summoner. That is what I saw. That's what I saw. Not the Saturn version, the PSP version. I think you're right. I think you're right. Original Persona Q. That is an older game. Bruh. My eyes. Well, I don't see it. Sorry. Persona Q. First one. Cool game. Amazing music. Again, amazing music. And we don't have the sick manual for this one. They're also working on translations for various titles, including Eternal Punishment on... Not Eternal Punishment. Yeah, Eternal Punishment. No, is that it? I think I'm getting mixed up. Is it the Eternal Punishment PSP version is getting translated? Or... No, they're remaking the models of Persona 1 on PSP. Yeah, I'm mixed up. Sorry, but they're remaking the models. I'm following a guy on Twitter. And he is remaking the game with beautiful models. Translation of PSP Devil Summoner. You guys have all the knowledge. I'm sorry. But cool. The translation of the PSP version is in the works, but it is paused for now. Cool. Thank you for the information, Joaquin. I really appreciate it. Strange Journey Redux. Various different opinions on this game. Some people like it, some people don't. I like the new character, personally. But they skipped voice acting for this one, which is kind of a bummer since the other games that I'm going to talk about, they have it. So yeah. Yeah, the Persona 1 HD thing looks so sick. It looks really good. Beautiful manual as well. Is it the same people that are doing the Persona 1 HD? We also have a slipcover for this one. Let's look at it. Oh man, that's sexy. Look at that. You cannot say that this is not that. Oh man. Oh man. There's a translation of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment being done by CJ Iwakura or whomever they're called, and there's also a translation of Ronde in the works and Demi Kids or something too. Thank you for the knowledge, Ilis. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. But the translation of Eternal Punishment, that's the PSP version, right? Someone's also putting the translation for SMT1 on the GBA version. You know, that's the translation work at the moment that I'm the most excited about. And I listened to the Megadillion podcast, Niarly's podcast, that he released the beginning of this week, and he says it would be really cool if they were to release a bootleg cart, GBA cart with a GBA box for this game. Ooh, that is a buy for me. Oh yeah, for sure. How cool would that look? An SMT GBA game on my shelf. The Demi Kids game are like $300 each, complete in box. I don't have that type of money, unfortunately. Isn't the P1 HD makeover just doing upscaled graphics, textures? No, I think they're really redoing the. I think they're redoing just the character models, not like your characters when you're moving, but the portrait. They're at least if they're just upscaling and giving them better textures, they're doing an amazing job. But I think they're doing a bit more than that, actually, if not the amazing job, honestly. Now we have two games that I adore. Devil Survivor Overclock and Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker. Those games are really good. They are really good. They are a great place to start. The only problem that I have with recommending those games to people is their awkward difficulty level. Yeah, at times it is weird. But other than that, the story, the gameplay style is really good. Look at that thick boy. Yeah, the Devil Survivor games are amazing. Really, really amazing. Once I replay this one, I'm going to review it as well. People liked the original Devil Survivor review, so I'll do the next game, of course, the sequel eventually. Devil Survivor is a masterpiece, you're right. They're putting high-definition portraits and remodeling the menus. But are they remodeling the character portraits as well? Or just doing the... like putting them in HD basically. Thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. Now we have two games. The last 2DS game that I'm going to show isn't a Megaton game, and I haven't played it yet. It is on the backlog, so if you guys played it, you're going to be able to tell me if it's good or not. Conception 2. Children of the Seven Stars. It was cheap, and it looked good. So I picked it up. Yes, that's okay, cool. That's yes, you mean yes, they are only high definition portraits? I struggle. So yeah, if you guys played it, please let me know what you think. I'm curious. But I have a massive backlog and it's not my priority yet. Now, we were talking about the DS. That's a good game. That's a good game. And I would understand if you guys haven't checked it out for the, you know, aesthetic doctor thingy you got to do surgeries. You have to do surgeries. So, but the characters and the story are worth it. The game's worth it just for that. So, Trauma Center, if you're not familiar with the series, highly recommend it. Great game. Nyarly has a cool video on this series if you guys want to check it out. High definition portraits. Okay, thank you for the clarification, man. Here is a cool copy of Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, and that's the original version. Man, my copy is very clean. So, beautiful copy of Strange Journey. Great game, we talked about it before. I really miss Trauma Center as well. How cool would it be to have this game come back on Switch? I'm sure it would do well. It had that mainstream appeal as well. I mean, oh man, Atlus with those thick boys. Look at that. That is really impressive. I'm gushing over those manuals, man. Time to go to... Oh, it's 1 a.m. your time. Well, thanks for being here, Adam. I really appreciate it. Good night. And this is going to be a weekly show, so see you next week. Thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, Trauma Center on Switch. Whew. How cool would that be? Which console should we jump into next? I think I'm going to show... I have a few soundtracks, actually. Let's look at the soundtracks. I don't have anything special for the soundtracks, but still, I love my soundtracks. I'm a fan. When they add a soundtrack inside a game case or inside a collector's edition, I'm all in. Oh, Shin Megami Tensei 4. Amazing games, right? Music Collection. So that's not exactly the official soundtrack, but Shin Megami Tensei 4. Amazing. Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. We were talking about how great that soundtrack is. Here it is. Amazing soundtrack. Honestly, it is that good. Yep, it is that good. Mario, thank you for being here. Welcome to the stream, man. SMT has a continuity because I only played Strange Journey and I want to buy Nocturne. Never played it and SMT5. No, you don't have to play the games in any type of order. I did a video on the channel if you want to check it out about where to start with Shin Megami Tensei if you're interested. But there's various games that you can start with. If you started with Strange Journey, you're good, man. You can jump right into Nocturne and you're going to understand everything and you're going to have a blast. So if you want to wait for Nocturne HD, that would be a great move. Great place to start, actually, with Nocturne. If you played Strange Journey, you're ready for the difficulty level in Nocturne, 100%. Persona 5 Royal. Soundtrack that came with my collector's edition that I'm going to show in a bit. Cabe the Bear, thank you for being here, man. He says, what's up? What consoles did you go over so far? I went over PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, my massive Vita collection. Here it is. And we just got finished with the 3DS. I was showing my soundtracks, and then we have a lot of other cool things to show. It has continuity, but it's limited to cameos. You can play the game in any order, basically. Interconnected universe. SMT4 and 4 Apocalypse are connected, yep. And Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2 are connected as well. But that's a given, of course. So if you decide to jump in with Digital Devil Saga, you play the first game, then you jump into the second game. It's the same thing with 4. If you play 4, you play Apocalypse after, so. Vanilla P5. This looks beautiful. Sounds of Rebellion. And this is even cooler because it is in a plastic case. Persona 1, PSP. Yeah, it's cool. There's even 2 discs. The soundtrack for the PSP version of Persona 1 is... I liked it, but I know that some people preferred the original Revelations Persona soundtrack. It had a more of a dark tone. This one is more like pop style-ish, so yeah. But it's cool. It's really good. Cape the Bear, I've watched a lot of Megaton games on YouTube, but I only actually own Persona 4 Golden and SMT4 Apocalypse. Okay. Well, you own 2 great games, in my opinion. Strange Journey haven't played, but I'm enjoying the Arthur C. Clarke sci-fi vibes I'm getting off. Yep. Yep, ILS is absolutely right. We got SMT 1 and 2 and Raito, the Raito games. Yep. So, what else can I show? This is the collector's edition for Persona 1 on the PSP. Now we're getting into the good stuff. So, I like this game. I really liked it. It is different, but if you want to go back to the roots, great place. Great game as well. So, highly recommend it. Look at that sexy box. It is... I'm all about that thickness today. Look at that. It's looking cool. This is where I got the soundtrack, so... Cool game. Vic Netty says, I think I like the PS1 old official soundtrack more. It fits the game better. This is what most people say, and... It's understandable. It is really debatable as well. Like what you're hearing right now, actually, it is the combat theme for Persona. When you listen to it like this, for the PSP version, when you listen to it like this, pretty cool jam. Like I like it. But in this game, the random encounters are very frequent, and after a lot of hours of playing this game, you can't hear this track anymore. Like it is. Listen to it. I'll raise it for you guys a bit. Okay. It is like it is repetitive. So at a certain time you get tired of this track, but it's bringing back memories right now. Saltento, welcome to the stream, man. I'm glad that you're here. No, you're not that well. Actually, yeah, you're 15 minutes late, but you didn't miss much. I was just talking about this new podcast here on the channel and what we're going to do in the future, and I was like showing off my Atlus collection. So, but you're not too late. We still have a lot of things to go over. So, and at the end, I'm just going to talk about this series of weekly podcasts that I want to do as well. So, a Persona 1 remake is the thing I'm hoping for the most from Atlus. It would be cool. I wouldn't expect it though, because as we often say, Atlus doesn't know if anything happened before Persona 3, honestly, unfortunately. Persona PS1 OST is way better than the PSP OST. Again, this is the opinion that most people have. Yeah, it fits the setting of the game better, in my opinion, as well. The PSP OST is one of my favs. It is really good. I think it's just while playing the game that it's not as fitting, but both are great. Both are great, honestly. Hey, awesome. Welcome to the stream, and I'm glad that you're here. We're doing great. How are you doing, man? Potato says, I'd be fine with an HD Persona 3, but 1, 2, 2.5 deserves remake. Yes, they do. Yes, they really do. You're right. Oh, man. How cool would that be? How did you start with SMT? I started with 4, which is strange. People think that I would have started before, but no, I'm a new fan, actually. I started with 4, then I jumped into the Persona games, and then I went back to SMT and I played a bunch of titles, and here I am now creating content about almost only Megaton, and I have this cool collection. I really love Megaton. It is amazing. Great question. Thank you for the question, Mario. I like the PSP soundtrack more than the PS1 version. Here we go. But the PS1 soundtrack fits better. Again, the opinion is really divisive when it comes to the Persona 1 soundtrack. I really hope Atlus remembers Persona 1 and 2 exist. I swear they start counting from 3 for real. Yeah, for real, absolutely. I'm glad they kind of remember SMT 1 and 2 sometimes. I like the kinda. I really like the kinda right here. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Yep. What about Megami Tensei 1 and 2? Yep. I mean, Atlus has that massive backlog that they can. But the thing is, with those games, like, let's say we're talking Persona 3 versus Persona 1 and 2, because those are the games that we hear most of the time people asking for remakes. Let's say we're looking at those games. It is definitely easier to remake Persona 3 and sell it to a 2020 audience than to go all the way back to Persona 1 and 2 and resell it. I think a Persona 3 remake would do better. I would prefer a 1 and 2 2.5, but a Persona 3 would make more sense if it were, when it comes to remake, in my opinion. ILS says, how would they even remake Persona 1? It's a complete classic dungeon crawler. I'm speaking in the sense of trying to get new Persona 5 fans. Basically, that's what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to say. A remake is, I think they could do like a collection and just like make it look better, make it sound better, and maybe correct the little problems that the games had, like as I was saying, the encounter rates. Maybe give us some difficulty levels, stuff like that would work. But a complete remake of everything, I would have to agree. I don't think it's necessarily necessary. Yeah, great point. Saltendo, I awesome says, Saltendo, those games don't exist. Don't you remember what happened to the iOS port? Rest in peace. It's still so sad to think of that. Yep, absolutely. ILS says SMT4's plot is composed of reused stuff from Megami Tensei 1 and 2 along with SMT 1 and 2. It's more likely to be a remake of If. A remake of If would be cool. A remake of If would be really lit. Absolutely. Everyone agrees. If has a setting and story that would appeal to a more newer audience of Shin Megami Tensei in general, I think. If I had to put money on which game would do the best in between SMT 1 and 2 or If, I would say If would do better in a 2020 setting. Is it more likely to be a remake of Persona 3 than 1? And with that, we're asking too much. It is more likely. Yep, absolutely. Also, about a Persona 3 remake, you know, if they don't include the things from Persona 3 Portable, like the female protagonist, people would get mad. Yes, they would get mad, but the top thing that I wanted to include if they do any type of re-release of Persona 3 is to add the ability to control the party members, all the party members like you had in Persona 3 Portable. That's the most important thing for me, over the female protagonists, over anything else that they had it for me at least. Alright, let's get back to a bit of collections, just because if not, I'm going to keep you guys here for way too long. I have a new pile, and I'll start with a Switch collection, which is a small collection since Atlus and the Switch for now is not, they don't have a lot of games, but hey. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore. If you look at this game this way, new IP, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, idle setting, great combat, great story, great music, amazing combat. It is a really good game. But I understand that if you look at it, after listening to the initial trailer, FE, Cross Fire Emblem, you can put this in the dumpster. Like, that's my problem with this game. It is a really good game in its own right, but it is not Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei. Not at all. So, that's the thing. But, still a good game. And we got Cool Heart on here as well. Now that it's available on Switch, if you guys haven't played it because you skipped the Wii U version, which would be understandable, here's your chance. I recommend it. SMT. Bro, didn't P1 and 2 sell more than 3 though? I doubt that. Maybe. Speaking of SMT, if the mana sequel to it, SMT Khan, raises up some interesting questions about it and the if to Persona timeline. I haven't heard about that, so I cannot really add any info on that, unfortunately. I mean, ILS, you're the knowledge person here. You're really knowledgeable from what I can see. It would have been better if the crossover was between Persona and not SMT. Yes, but then again, if it was Persona Cross Cross Fire Emblem and they would give us this, it still doesn't really work. Majin Tensei's 2 neutral route was literally the plot message to 3 houses from what I've heard. Oh. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a good game, but a bad crossover. Thank you. Thank you. Katrin Full Body. Great way to play the game. We were talking about how portability is great. Well, this game doesn't suffer from a Switch port, so if you haven't played it, highly recommend this version. Yep, highly recommend it. Definitely a top 10 soundtracks of all time. Amazing characters, amazing story. And I'm not a puzzle games guy, but this game is good. And it came with that really cool keychain since I pre-ordered it. Shin Megami Tensei Q. Count me in, Sal. Count me in. I've seen fan art of that SMTQ concept before. If you have Twitter, ILS, I would like to see that. SMT in the Q art style would be so cool. Imagine SMT dancing. Aww. Could you imagine, like, Raido dancing to, like, the Tokyo Mirage Session reincarnation team? Like, oh man. Imagine SMT racing. I want to throw a red shell at Demifend. Really. SMT dancing furiously night. Q Raido fan art. Oh man. I don't have Twitter. Twitter sucks. Yep. Agreed. Twitter sucks. You're right. Can't blame you. Here is the regular case for Persona 1. Really, really like the art style on here with Joker in the back. Really cool. Experience the start of the acclaimed Persona series. Cool manual. The game's in my system. Great game. Great game, but an even better game. Innocent Sin. Amazing. Amazing game. Amazing game. I'm lucky to still have those games. They're getting kind of hard to find. Coolest thing that could happen with an SMT spinoff is an SMT fighting game. And then Saltendo comes back to Vignetti and says, SMT fighting game where Nakajima fights Flynn. Yeah. How cool would that be? Persona 3 Portable. A good. With the new female character in the back. And the ability to control your whole party member. Which makes this game... Which makes this game playable. Don't kill me for that comment. My sealed copy of Nocturne, which I keep showing off. Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, if you haven't heard of him. We're getting the remaster next year. This is going to stay sealed. I've played the game before though, of course. Can't wait. I can't wait. SMT fighting game would be great. It would be really great. The final boss team in Innocent Sin is awesome. It is awesome. Jack Bros dancing featuring Peppa Pig. Hell yeah. P3 FES is playable even with the AI tactics from my experience. It is playable. I'm just crying. It is hard to get back to, in my opinion, but it is playable. I beat it back in the day with the AI. You just gotta choose which order to give them correctly. If you choose like a jerk, it won't work. So the mechanics are not broken. It's just harder to control and manipulate than, of course, when you directly control your party members, in my opinion. Raido 2, King Abaddon. As I said, I'm unfortunately missing the first game, but those are expensive, man. There it is. Yeah. That's a gem. It is a cool gem. Digital Devil Saga, which I am replaying at the moment, which I am going to review afterwards, so yeah. It is really good. It is really good. And then I'm going to jump right back into Digital Devil Saga 2, which is right here. I think some other Arx's game has something like that. A bunch of demons before the match starts. Okay, yeah. What if you could pick from a bunch of demons before the match starts? That's what you're talking about. Yeah, it would be cool. Persona 2 Innocent Sin Dancing Fur Knight. Persona 3 Portable is cool and all, man, but it sucks that it's basically a visual novel. That's the thing that most people don't like. For me personally, I don't mind it. I really like visual novels, so for me it was not a problem at all. But again, I understand why you would not like it as much. Digital Devil Saga 2. Can't wait to jump into this one. I haven't played this one, so when I say that there's still some games that I have to play, it's one of them. Is Dante going to be a DLC on the remastered? I heard. Yep, he's going to be a DLC for remastered. Vignetti says the Raido games are so cool. Yes, they are. Hashtag Team Raido. And Raido is going to be included in Nocturne HD, which is amazing. Can't wait. I need to get myself a PlayStation 2. I want to play Digital Devil Saga. Man, you can buy a copy of Digital Saga and a PlayStation 2 with a working memory card and a working controller for like $40. So you should definitely do so. Yeah, they gutted out the game's 3D city segments, which removes most of the game's vibe or whatever you'd call it. At least to me, that's how it is. But again, for me, it doesn't change how good the setting is, and it doesn't change the vibe that I get from the game. Maybe it's because I played FES before Portable. Maybe. But playing it after FES was not a problem for me at all, at least. Awesome. Will you do the secret bosses in DDS? I started already. I beat King Frost, and I need to grind. So I need to grind while I'm at in the story, actually. I'm playing against, what's the name of the boss? Like, there's like some type of sea snake that I have to beat, and he's like destroying me hardcore. So to level up, I'm going back and doing the side quest and the secret bosses. At the moment, this is what I'm doing. Oh, DDS 3, Raido 3, Desu 3. Amazing. Desu 3 has a chance. It is the more likely in the 3, in my opinion. I know DDS 2 apparently wipes up the game's plot very well. Yes, that's the thing that I heard as well. Raido 3 can have a chance maybe as well. Yeah, maybe. If they put a Devil Survivor game on the Switch, that would be perfect. I mean, this is what SMT Cross Fire Emblem was supposed to be. You meant Survivor, not Summoner. Yep, Survivor. FES. You know how I feel about Persona 3. It's good. I have a different opinion than most about this game. I don't like it as much as other games, but it is still good. And it did a lot of good things for the series, in my opinion. So, it still has a place in my heart, for sure. And, of course, P4. Oh! It's funny. Team Control was on the back. They probably knew that it was a deal breaker to some people. Great game. I don't talk about them more because you guys know what to expect from those games. I could go for some modern Devil Summoner games, to be honest. Yep. Bro, if Devil Survivor comes to Switch, I'm buying that day one. If anything Megaton comes to Switch, I'm buying that day one. Even SMT Dancing. It seems Persona's taken over the timeline for Devil Summoner. Yep. It seems like Persona took over any chances of us getting more SMT spin-offs. Oh, I forgot to show. I have a deluxe box set for Digital Devil Saga, which comes with a box, of course. Manual of 40 pages and the soundtrack. I really like it. There's a slipcover, and in the back you get a look at Digital Devil Saga 2. Really like that box. And I got it for really cheap, actually. I'm going to quickly show what I just got. Of course, Best Buy delivered this bad boy a week late, like they always do. I don't know if it's the same thing for you guys in the US, but here in Canada, Best Buy is always late. Whenever you pre-order something or you buy something online from them, the shipping, it's always late, so shouts out to them. The problem why I always come back to Best Buy is because they have more stocks than elsewhere in Canada. Most of the time when other places are sold out, I look up Best Buy and they still have it, so I have to go with them. But hey, it's an amiibo, it's no big deal, but that's the reason why you didn't see any post from me showing off this bad boy, because everyone has it already and I didn't have it, so yeah. What else should I show you? You guys probably saw it, but I also own a cool Joker sitting figure that I put right here. You guys see it in the videos. Well, you don't see it at the moment, but this is where I put it. Yeah, I got the Joker, and I got Hero as well. And Hero, I opened him. He is on the shelf. Really cool amiibo. They're getting cool. They're getting really good with the details of the amiibos. And that Byleth amiibo that they just announced, man, that is looking really good. Really, really good. I want to get it too, but your boy is broke. It happens. It happens. It's not going to sold out too quickly, I think. Hey Chris, thanks for being here. I'm doing live streams now. It's my first podcast finally. My name has meaning now. When you guys will ask me what DavidCast is for, I have a podcast now on the channel. Here we go. I had episodes before, but not. I wanted a weekly podcast for a while, so let's go. We got it. We got it. Thanks for coming to the stream. I appreciate it, man. I have that Joker too. I also won 2 Akechi figures on an online claw machine when he came out. Nice. Oh, Demi-Fin amiibo. Could you imagine like a collector's edition of Nocturne with an amiibo? Whew. Whew. How cool would that be? What else should I show? Like, we talked a lot about this little game before. OG Devil. Ooh, the reflection is really bad. I don't have good lightning at the moment, but hey, that is Devil Summoner on Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn games are really cool. I'm still missing Soul Hackers for the Saturn, but I'll get it eventually. It's like a CD case. It's really cool. And then we have Eternal Punishment on the original PlayStation, and it is a... Sorry, it is a Japanese import because the Western version is not buyable. It is way too expensive, so... But here it is. Looking really good, and that copy is like mint. When I got it, I was really surprised. I was like, oh man, that is in good condition. We need an SMT character in Smash for the SMT amiibo. Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I made this video today. If you guys haven't seen that, as you can see on the screen, I did a video if SMT was possible to appear in Smash. Any type of character from SMT would be sick. But you guys had some cool ideas that I didn't think about. Like, what if we got Jack Frost in Smash Brothers? How cool would that be? Or just the Jack Brothers. Man. Sega Saturn was a lit obscure console. Absolutely. I had a random thought one time. Jet Set Radio Cross SMT. How would they make it work? I have the Western version of 1 and 2 Eternal Punishment. Damn, Chris, that is very nice. I don't have them. Unfortunately. But I have the... Yeah, I have the Japanese version. And I have Revelations on my PlayStation Classic. Yeah. Which is not that great, but hey. I paid like $30 Canadian for a PlayStation Classic, so it was worth it. I had everything except 1, so I bit the bullet and spent the money to get Revelations Persona. It is expensive, right? Yeah, it is very expensive, but I don't spend over $100 for any game, or well, at least most of the time. I did it for Raido 2, and I'll do it for Raido 1, but hey. It is what it is. Catherine Full Body. That is the premium edition. Oh, and the cat is here. Cool little collector's edition. Really liked it. Really liked it. Oh boy, you're doing your show, right? Revelations was on the PlayStation Classic. Yes, it was for for whatever reason. Yes, it was. I bought it for that reason, to see how it would look and play in 2020. I think I bought it in 2019, and I also bought it for FF7, OG FF7, with the hype for the remake. So, cool. Name of the cat? Her name is Cleo. I don't know if I'll bite the bullet soon and buy a Vita to homebrew for the PSP ports of Persona, or if I should just emulate the PS1 versions on my 3DS. Or if you have a PC and if you don't mind the emulation, you could also emulate the PSP versions on PC. I'm sure that's not too hard to do. I spent way too much on Revelations Persona, lol. I should live stream it sometime just for fun. Oh man, Chris, it is such a hard game to get back to. Like, I really tried with Revelations, and after like 4 hours of gameplay, I was done. I was done. It was enough. It was enough. Eternal Punishment for $55 in 2019. If it is complete, it is a really good deal. You have several cats at home myself. Well, I have 2 cats as well. I have 2 cats, and the other one, his name is Roger. It's French, and he's my cat that went to the vet yesterday, and it costed me my PlayStation 5 pre-order. Yep, $700 for my cat yesterday at the vet. But it happens, and we love them, so I don't mind losing my PS5 pre-order for my cat. So, 100% complete. Oh man, I'll take it off your hands for $60. How about that? You want to ship it to me? $60 right here. Give me your PayPal. Only way I buy games. Nice. That's what I like to hear. I saw a copy of Eternal Punishment for like $90 at a game store a while back. Is that a good price for it? If it's complete, I think it's a good price. Like, how much is this game worth nowadays? And you're probably talking US dollars. I'll check it out real quick. Oh yeah, it is a great price. It's worth $280 complete on price charting average. So yes, it was a great price. Not gonna lie, I prefer emulating games with homebrews. They seem to run more stables on consoles, unlike PC. Fair enough. Is there a way to emulate PSP other than the Vita? I don't think so. eBay over 200. Yep, exactly. You're right, Chris. I can't wait to buy a PlayStation 5 to play vanilla P5. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I laughed so hard. I was streaming the PS5 showcase and I was like, oh, Joker, what the hell? And then I saw that they were giving out vanilla P5. I swear, man, when Atlus puts P5 on Switch, because we all know it's going to happen at some point, they're going to put vanilla. And it's going to be fucking funny, man. I can't wait to see the reaction of it. I would prefer Royal, of course, but the reaction would be really funny. PC emulation is hell since there's always extra variables like PC specs and performance, which sucks. Yep, well, I'm not too big of a PC guy. At the moment, I'm playing the Ace Attorney 5 on 3DS, on PC with 3DS emulation with Citra, and it works really well. The game's not available physical, and I don't feel like spending $30 for digital, so... I might have to go buy it tomorrow. Yes, if it's $90, you should, Vic Netty. It's worth it. I paid $200 for Revelations Persona 2019, I think, if I remember correctly. Also complete. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But it's a great piece to have in the collection for sure. PSP can only be emulated on PC and Vita. Really sad how it can be emulated on 3DS emote. Yep, it would be cool though. It's not possible to emulate it on any home consoles. I'm surprised, but Vita makes sense, and Vita's a great system. If you can find a console for nothing too expensive, maybe you should. Maybe you should, ILS. If Atlus puts vanilla P5 on Switch, you know I'm going to Twitter to watch everyone go crazy. It's going to be one hell of a show. You can emulate PSP games on PS3, but it's not recommended. That's probably a lot of work. I'm not too good with emulation, so vanilla P5 on Switch won't be happening for a while. Most I've ever spent on a single game in my life. LOL. Well, Chris, I don't know. For a used game. I think it's Rido 2. Actually, I won an auction for $120 Canadian for it, which is like $100 US for a complete copy of Rido 2, like a month ago. So I think that's the most that I spent on one game, except like a new collector's edition, for example. But 200 is and 200 US, it's getting pretty steep. They've got to have mainline get its money worth and whatnot. Yep, coming back to Persona 5. Yep, absolutely, I agree. But I did spend 200 on one other item like 4 or 5 years ago. Not SMT or Persona related. What was it, Chris? I'm curious. As a fellow collector, I am curious. Oh, I spent $150 on Path of Radiance on GameCube. Here we go. That's a game that I spent more than Rido 2. You guys remember Breakthrough Persona? Yeah, it was hell. Well, Saltendo, I'm going to tell you a story. I started my channel in March, and I was part of the community. I was always watching videos and stuff like that, but I was not on Twitter yet. So I was not aware of all of that, you know, Breakthrough Persona campaign thingy and how people were abusing that campaign. So I made a video, and in my title, well, it was a video discussing will Persona 5 come to Switch eventually, and in my title I wrote Breakthrough Persona. I'm ashamed because now I know how people use this sentence of Breakthrough Persona. They use it in like the most recent example that I have is when Atlus revealed that they were delaying 1 week or 2 weeks for 13 Sentinels, and because of English voice acting, which is a great voice acting cast, by the way. In the comments there was this one a-hole. He was like, F this game, where's Persona 4 Switch or something like that. It's crazy. It is crazy. I can't do it. Whew. Break free SMT9, hell yeah. SMT9 on PS5 or on Series X. It will make sense. Don't underestimate Persona 5 fans. We didn't play the game. Some comment on some video. Chris, okay, it was on component cables for GameCube. I'm still salty about it because it was an accident, but having an HD output from a GameCube, it's hard to walk from at this point, lol. They're really expensive. Yeah, they are really expensive. They didn't produce much by HD. I mean, 480p with upscale to 960. But the quality is there. But yeah, the official cables are really expensive. They say break free Persona, but when they really mean break free Persona 3, 4, and 5. Agreed, absolutely. Break free 9 would be lit. Absolutely. The last two items that I have to show is, of course, those big boxes that you guys can see. So that's the Take Your Heart edition for Vanilla P5. It is a cool box. Look at this. It is a really cool box. I remember when I first bought it, I was always showcasing it on my shelf. So we have, of course, that slip cover and the beautiful box right here. The game. It is looking really cool. I'm going to open it for you guys just to show. Of course, the game and everything is out of it. You got that Shujin Academy bag, and we have an art book for the game, which is a cool, really cool art book actually. Speaking of 13 Sentinels, I picked up the game yesterday because of the vid you made. It's on the backlog now. I am super happy to hear that, Vic Netty. You're going to have a good time. This game is extremely good. I adored it. I adored it. Break Free Persona had good intentions, but exactly. It had good intentions, but it degenerated really quickly. I don't own very many big box Persona games, so you got me there, man. Lol, my wealth would not be happy if I bought all the big boxes games. Yeah, it's big. Look at that. It's really big. The Royal one that I have is not that bad, but it is really big. I'm just hoping for Nintendo and Atlus to come up with an SMT5 amazing collector's edition. Even a console. Could you imagine? Like they did with SMT4 in Japan, a 3DS. Ooh, man, that would be fire, straight up. Here's the Royal Phantom Thieves edition. That's a cool one as well. I feel like this one is a bit higher quality. The slipcover is beautiful. It's just the regular game with the regular casing and stuff. Then you got the description of what you have in the box. And I would also like to have more collector's editions with figures. Atlus, they don't do that, but they should because they have some really memorable characters and I would like figures. Here we go. So here's the box. Oh yeah, that one is definitely cooler in my opinion. Look at that. It is really cool. It is really cool. Then we have the cards for the Arcanas. Smells weird though. Look at that. It is really high quality. I'm still happy to have this one. It came like this. This is where I had the steelbook for the game. Saltendo, I want to get 13 Sentinels, but I don't have a PlayStation 4. Lol, if I can play it on PS5, I'll def get it. Yes, I definitely recommend it. It's probably not going to go down in price either because it's not going to sell anything, so. If they make an SMT Switch, I'm buying like at least 2 of them, lol. Maybe I could give one away on the channel. I don't know if I have that type of money, but it would be cool. Here's the hard book for Royal. Another beautiful art book. Definitely a cool art book. I've got OG. Are you getting a PlayStation 5? Well, welcome to the stream, Cecilia, by the way. I had a pre-order placed in at Best Buy, but as I mentioned a few minutes ago, my cat went to the vet yesterday and it cost me $700. So unfortunately, I had canceled my PS5 pre-order for my cat, but I love him, so it's okay. I don't mind. And anyways, I was picking up a PlayStation 5 with no games at launch. There's no PS5 exclusive that I care about at the moment, so I can definitely wait. It doesn't matter. Like the pickups that I'm getting for this Christmas season is Yakuza, of course. I have that beautiful limited edition from Europe that I got. Can't wait to have this one. And I also will pick up Zelda, of course. And I'm forgetting a game. Oh man. I'm forgetting a game. Yakuza and Zelda are my two most hyped games for this holiday season, but PS5 will wait. I'll get one at some point for sure, but not day one, unfortunately. I've got OG Persona 3 Collector's Edition. Great Collector's Edition. It's actually getting up there in price as well. And Persona 2 Innocent Sin Collector's Edition. I don't have Innocent Sin. It's a cool edition as well, but I have the P1 at least. OG Nocturne Collector's Edition for PlayStation 2. Came with a straight-up Isen's burner shaped like the game saved points, which seems neat. Yes, it looks really cool. They did the same thing for Nocturne HD, actually. The kind of big box that you could have. And I think it didn't come with the instance burner in the Collector's Edition, I think. But it came separately. You could buy it as merch separately for Nocturne HD. Only in Japan, I think. I listened to LaRue's podcast. That's why I know. Ooh, I don't want to destroy everything. Oh, damn. Good cat owner. I mean, I love them. So, a PS5 can wait. And honestly, I could have kept my PS5 pre-order as well, but I have some other plans for this holiday season, which is the reason why I'm just skipping out the PS5, so. And that's the Joker's mask that came with the box. But I haven't opened it. Actually, it's not even sealed. I can open it. I can show you. Personally, I never buy day one consoles because they always bring factory errors. The Nintendo Switch is the only console that I bought day one because of Zelda, of course. Because I'm a big Zelda fan, so. It would have been my second time with the PS5. But I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. Fucking. Look at that. I never opened it. It came with some. Oh, it's a stand. It's a stand for the mask. I'll display it while we're at it. I'm opening it, so we'll display it at the same time. Nocturne HD as a nightlight instead of the burner. Okay, cool, cool. Well, thanks for correcting me. It's a nightlight. Okay, okay. It was even hardcore, more hardcore back in 2003. Well, it's kind of a cheap stand though. There's no encryptions on it for the name of the game or anything, but hey. We have. Oh, the mask is kind of high quality though. And then I'll look like a complete loser. Yeah. Oh, okay, and then there's the strap for it. Okay, here it is, the plate for. I'll leave all of that in the box though. I don't want to bother with it. And I'll reorganize everything later. So. I didn't buy a Switch until Smash Ultimate got revealed. Well, Saltendo, you're a good man because I couldn't wait. Zelda was too much. I had to pick it up day one. No choices for me here. I'll get a PS5 when they make a slimmer and shorter model. Oh man, that's a fat boy, right? The PS5, it is big and it is massive. It wouldn't fit in my entertainment system. Atlus finally releases something. Okay, you're gonna wait until an Atlus release? See you in 2030. Okay, I showcased everything now, guys. We are already at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Time flies by. I'm just going to do, because I know that we got a lot of new people here while we were talking, and I did my introductions to this new podcast at the beginning of the stream. So just before we wrap things up, this podcast is called the Demon Appreciation Podcast. It is going to be a weekly podcast. I'm going to do an episode once a week. I have a few ideas for this podcast. Again, I have a cool collection of games, so whenever I'm alone on the show, we will probably do just what we did today. I'm going to interact with you guys, and I'm going to showcase my stuff. I think you guys liked it, right? I hope you liked it, at least. So whenever I'm alone, that's probably what we're going to do, or maybe even live stream a game. For example, as I mentioned previously, I'll be like grinding for, say, in an SMT game, and we're going to discuss at the same time. You're going to watch gameplay, and we're going to talk. And another idea that I have, which is going to be what we're going to have most of the time, is we're going to have guests on. So we're going to bring guests on the podcast, and we're going to talk with them about various topics surrounding Atlus stuff, of course, and just gaming in general. It is going to be very interesting. As always, guys, I am always reading your comments, so if you have any type of ideas for this podcast, once it goes live, don't hesitate to just drop a comment and tell me what ideas you have, what guests you would like me to get on the channel as well. I talked with a lot of people in the community already. People are nice and they're always really understanding. They want to like they want to collaborate with me, even if I'm not like a big YouTuber or anything. Not at all. It's just I'm being friendly, and they're being friendly as well to me, which is amazing. So if there's anyone that you want to see, let me know. If there's any specific topics that you guys would like me to cover, you can let me know as well. And yeah, I hope you liked today's video. This is going to be a hit for today, guys. I have to go. Unfortunately, I have things to do before I go back to sleep. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And as always, if you like the podcast, a thumbs up helps. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I really liked speaking with you, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much, and have a great day.